Books, movies, music, games, all offering different levels of enjoyment. How do we interact with these things? More importantly, how do they interact with us? Books can transport us to other worlds through the power of words, movies through motion and sound. Even newer experiences give you, the audience, control over the story. But after all of the amazing improvements we've made, we've had to meet the computer more than halfway. We have had to bridge the gap, translating our movements into a language the computer can understand. What happens when we look at it the other way? How does the computer start to interact with us? Virtual reality has been tossed around for many years in science fiction, and in some very small way, into video games. The idea that a person could put a helmet on and be inside of another world seems so very possible, yet so very amazing if done correctly. There have been many difficulties in the production of these items, but with the saturation of cell phones with high-density screens and exacting accelerometers, the future will be hitting store shelves in 2013 with the Oculus Rift, a head-mounted three-dimensional head-tracking display that will sell for around $300. The creator of the Rift explains more.
My name is Paul Merlucky, and I'm a virtual reality enthusiast and the designer of the Rift. What we're doing at Oculus is trying to create the world's best virtual reality headset designed very specifically for gaming. Where this all started was in my parents' garage in Long Beach, California. And I was interested in stereoscopic displays, I was interested in head mounts, and the problem was there was nothing that gave me the experience that I wanted, the Matrix, where I can plug in and actually be in the game. And I was sure that somewhere out there was something that I could buy. And the reality is there's nothing. I set out to change that with the Oculus Rift. The magic that sets the Rift apart is immersive stereoscopic 3D rendering, a massive field of view, and ultra-low latency head tracking.
Aside from the obvious application to video games, will this change the way we view other forms of media as well? Will we find ourselves sitting in a virtual theater surrounded by our friends and family from around the globe? What about being at the big game, watching from home, sitting in the best seat in the stadium? Instead of fighting with long lines and expensive tickets, you can be in the most comfortable seat of your own. Traveling to faraway locales without the airfare? Taking a late-night stroll down the streets of Paris, finally seeing the Louvre? How about seeing a great performance with friends from around the world without even leaving the house? The applications in other walks of life have great potential as well: education, therapy programs, safety training, and more. The applications for this kind of technology are exciting and nearer in our future than we may realize. What is augmented reality? Imagine everything you see being interactive and able to display information, an overlay on what is real. Virtual reality puts you in a fake world and tries to make it as real as possible. Augmented reality places non-real objects in your view to enhance what you already see. A weather forecast on a cloudy day. A book, for example, may have links in the text to articles on relevant subjects, or pictures of locations mentioned. Perhaps an interactive game, displayed only for your eyes. If we could splice in little bits of information into our daily lives, if we didn't have to use a phone or computer to access the internet, what would we use it for? Most experts agree that in the near future, this kind of technology will be as common as our smartphones are today. Will this technology eventually reach the point that many hope for? Direct eye augmentation? Some enthusiasts have entertained the idea of contact lenses or surgical implants. If this were more permanent, what other daily realities would change with it? Would art, instead of being hung in squares on walls, paint the entire house. Instead of walls, would we prefer to see a hanging garden? A waterfall?
By embracing this new virtual world, what we do is we open a door to a virtual universe where our mind is the only boundary.
Both of these exciting technologies are right on the horizon. What kind of uses will you find? Will doctors someday use augmented glasses to help see inside of a person's body while performing surgery? Will teachers use virtual reality to help classrooms journey inside of a cell? If these recent developments are any indication, the future could be very entertaining indeed.
A toast.
Do